Rhyolite is a ghost town in Nevada's Nye County at the northern end of the Amargosa Desert, about 120 miles northwest of Las Vegas. The old ghost town rests quietly in the Bullfrog Hills, near the eastern border of Death Valley National Park. The Bullfrog Hills take their name after the appearance of the gold ore that brought everyone into the hills over 100 years ago. Frank Shorty Harris and Ernest Ed Cross were the first two to discover gold in the area and name their claim the Bullfrog Mine. During a 1930s interview for Westways magazine, Harris explained how the mine got its name. The rock was green, almost like turquoise, spotted with big chunks of yellow metal, and looked like the back of a frog. Rhyolite is named for the light-colored igneous rock known as rhyolite, which is composed of silicates and is usually buff to pink in color. On August 9, 1904, Cross and Harris found gold on the south side of a hill, later called Bullfrog Mountain. Essays of the ore suggested values of up to $3,000 a ton, or about $85,000 a ton in today's dollar when adjusted for inflation. Word of the discovery spread like wildfire, and Rhyolite went from a two-man camp to a town of 1,200 people in 2 weeks. And within 10 months, the town doubled to 2,500 people with 50 saloons, 35 gambling tables, several brothels, 19 lodging houses, 16 restaurants, a half a dozen barbers, public bathhouse, 2 churches, and its very own newspaper known as the Rhyolite Herald. 4 daily stagecoaches, auto lines, and the railroad connected Rhyolite with the rest of the world. Eventually, 3 railroads would service Rhyolite. The first was the Las Vegas and Tonopah Railroad, followed by the Bullfrog Goldfield, and then the Tonopah and Tidewater Railroad. Charles M. Schwab bought the nearby Montgomery-Shoshone mine in 1906 and invested heavily in infrastructure, including piped water, electric lines that served the town, as well as the mine, and by 1907, Rhyolite's population, now between 3,500 and 5,000, had electric lights, water mains, and telephones. The most prominent building then, and still today, was the 3-story John S. Cook & Co. Bank on Golden Street. Finished in 1908, it cost more than $90,000, equivalent to $2.5 million today. Much of that cost went to Italian marble stairs, imported stained glass windows, and other luxuries. Besides the bank, the building housed brokerage offices and a post office. Other large buildings included the train depot, the 3-story Overberry Bank building, and the 2-story 8-room schoolhouse. The best preserved building in Rhyolite is the old train depot, which was built in the California Mission style and cost about $130,000, equivalent to about $3.7 million today. One of the most interesting and intact buildings is Tom T. Kelly's famous bottle house, built from 50,000 discarded beer and liquor bottles. Although the mine produced more than $1 million in gold bullion, equivalent to about $24 million today, a committee of minority stockholders, suspecting that the mine was overvalued, hired a British mining engineer to conduct an inspection. The report was unfavorable and caused a sudden decline in share values from $23 down to 75 cents. In 1910, the mine operated at a loss for most of the year, and on March 14, 1911, the mine was closed. By then, the stock, which had fallen to 10 cents a share, slid to 4 cents and was dropped from the exchange. Many out-of-work miners left, and most of Rhyolite's buildings were salvaged for materials or were moved to the nearby town of Beatty. By 1920, Rhyolite was deserted, having gone from Boomtown to ghost town in a span of 16 years. In the 1930s, a service station operating out of an old caboose was in operation. And in 1937, the train depot building became a casino and bar called the Rhyolite Ghost Casino, which later turned into a small museum and curio shop that remained open into the 1970s. In 1925, Tom T. Kelly's bottle house was restored by the parent company of Paramount Pictures for the filming of the silent movie The Airmail. The ruins of the Cook Bank building were used in the 1964 film The Reward, and again in 2000 for the filming of The Island. Today, Rhyolite is a historic town site maintained by the Bureau of Land Management. A walk down Rhyolite's Golden Street's crumbling facade invites one's imagination to mingle and mix with what once was, and it's not hard to transport yourself back into time, to walk in and among the ghosts of those who once lived, worked, and called this place their home. Remember, tread softly, take nothing but pictures and memories, for it is up to us, now, to preserve this wonderful site for those who come tomorrow.